and welcome back to 50 Shades of Blonde. I'm Missy Day.
And Jill Branson.
And to say that we're excited would be an understatement because we have three very handsome looking guys with us in the studio who are the stars of American Trilogy. We have Rob Garrett, who's fiddling with his phone.
Sorry.
And Justin Shandor.
How you doing?
Good. So glad you can make it. You love his shirt, right? Go, Knights, go.
Yes.
And we have Gary Anthony back with us again. So thank you all for coming. It's very special having you here.
It's good to be back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Famous with the famous Rob Garrett, remember?
Yeah, last time you called me the infamous.
Last time
The
he
infamous.
yelled at me.
Infamous. Oh.
She called me the infamous.
I did, and I got in trouble too, and I'll never forget it. So, Justin, this is your first time to the show.
It is, yes.
So tell our listeners all about you. So how did you get involved in American Trilogy?
Me and Rob came up with the concept while on a ride back from Palm Springs. We were doing a little tour out there, and I was doing the show called $1 Million Quartet at the time. And I said, wouldn't it be an awesome idea to do something similar to like a Broadway play? We have, three of the biggest stars, and we call it like American Trilogy. And he said, I've been thinking about doing something like that as well. And he made it happen. And he actually wrote the script for it and put it all together.
Yeah, no, that's something I didn't
Really
know
awesome.
until we were talking the other day. That this was kind of like your thing. You wrote it, directed, the whole thing.
Originally, I had an idea, or someone suggested to me to do a show with Elvis and Neil, just Elvis and Neil. And I knew, the only thing I knew is that I didn't want it to be a typical Legends thing, where one guy comes on and he does his thing, and the other guy comes on and he does his thing, and then it's over.
Right.
So I wanted something scripted along the lines of Rat Pack or $1 Million Quartet. I'd watch those, and a couple of friends of ours had a show called Frank and Barbara, which you had been in as well. So, but I was thinking along those lines. It had to be. I wanted something scripted, and I just, for the life of me, couldn't think of a script for just Elvis and Neil. And then I'd realized there had been quite a few like British tributes to just where it's just British acts, or there have been Latin tributes, or African American acts, But I said, well, no one's done just like an all American show, which I couldn't believe no one's done that, and anybody had done that. So then I said, that sounds like a good idea, and I started thinking we need a third. We need a third, and that was easy. As far as when you're talking about performers that were patriotic and huge American icons. So then, once Frank came into my head, then I started thinking about it, and we were talking about it like he said, and I was explaining the concept that I had in my mind. We were driving from Palm Springs, and I remember that. And he said, that sounds like a great idea. And he said, what are you going to call it? And I said, I'm not really sure. I'm thinking like American icons. And him, being Elvis, immediately said, why don't you call it American Trilogy, which of course is a Mickey Newberry song that Elvis sang in all of his concerts. And that's what I needed. I needed the spark of a great name, and he gave me a great name.
Yeah.
And then once I had that kind of incentive, I sat down and started writing a loose script. And I wrote a first draft, and we did it at the here in town at the Starbite Theater, and gradually the loose script tightened up, and we all ad-libbed, and at first, even though I had stuff written down, we kind of did things on our own, and eventually it became in concrete. A script in concrete, and that's what it is now.
We just needed
That's awesome.
the first ingredient, the name and the concept, and then we ad-libbed everything else together and came out fantastic. But most of it is a script that we stick to, that he, put the main, basic format to. So. But anything can happen, just like in any show. Audience member could do something funny, and we'll just go along with it.
Right.
And I think it's more fun that way. I think people like that, and they can feel it. The audience feels that.
Always.
I'm
So,
sorry I mess around with the phone.
Kinda like that
I'm trying to
demarcation.
I'm trying to figure out how to turn it
Right.
around so everybody can see it.
You see that button right there? You're like, I'm new generation. I know how to do this.
Yay!
Oh, there it is. Thank you. There we go. Justin Shandor did that. There he is.
That's right. So,
There's
hey,
Gary. There's the
follow
ladies.
Rob on his
and there's
Facebook
Gary.
page as well. And follow mine.
All right. Okay.
I should have started mine too. I didn't think.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Well, we went to the show last year,
Now, that's
Jill and I
blocking
did.
it, isn't it? Is
yeah.
that blocking it?
No.
No.
and I would have to say, it looks like you guys are all having a really good time.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
On stage,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, we're having a ball. We're
Yeah.
having a ball. And we still have there's still a little room, even though, like I said, the script is in concrete, there's still a little room for us to ad lib.
Yeah.
So on any given night, he may rattle off something that's not in the script, or so will he, and so there is a little bit of room to just do impromptu. So
So how many times have you done the show?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean, because we do it intermittently, and we've been as far as New York, which we're going back to in November, and I know it's toward California, but if you're asking me to give you a number, I don't know.
I'd say over 20 so far.
Yeah, definitely over 20. Yeah. And it's got to be arranged when all three of us, because we all do our own thing.
Right. You
Right.
have to.
So where we can do it because we have our own individual schedules. But the one thing we can count on every year is around July 4th time. Always the South Point.
Yeah.
Always the South.
That's our little Vegas home right
Yeah.
now for
Yeah.
our show
Yeah.
that we
That's
get great
awesome.
following.
And this is going on I believe our 4th year. I think.
I think it's
I was
fifth.
going to
Is
ask
it fifth?
that.
I think it
Fifth?
might
maybe.
be the
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He might be right. It just flies by.
We
Well,
were
we're
just
looking forward to
talking
it.
about that.
Yeah, time is flying
Time
by.
is flying right by.
Well, we're looking forward to going again. We're going to
Yes.
go again, so that'll be cool. I think we have, can we show the flyer?
Yeah.
So we're going to show the flyer that's going to give you all the information that you need so you can get your tickets and go see them at American Trilogy.
I can show. Hold on.
Put it real
I
close.
just happen to have one. I just happen to have one with me. Yeah, there it is.
All right. So let me ask you this, Justin.
Yes, hon.
So since I've never met you before, so I could have been a little bit of an Elvis fan. So what is like the age range of your particular audience? Older? Mix?
It varies. It actually depends on where you go. When I go overseas, the crowd is very young. I think that stuff is still very alive over there and still fresh with them folks. Even all the way up to Japan, even Europe too, Australia. They have a lot of people who still dress. They call it rockabilly, 50s, pompadours, leather jackets, and they still really appreciate the music. And they're even very interested in your obscure stuff too. Noki Edwards is one of their favorite guitar players out there, and people forget who he is over here. You know what I mean? They just love great stuff over there. The younger generation here as well. I'm noticing, Elvis is being put back into a little bit of mainstream pop culture as well. Some of the soundtracks that are coming out, movies, and the kids still very much appreciate them. But of course, you still have your baby boomers who were there and they see Elvis, and I think they really appreciate the authentic stuff that we do, the rare songs. Elvis will live forever, even in Graceland too, Memphis, Tennessee. Last Elvis week, it's amazing to see how many people still travel all over the world to come see him.
Right.
One of a kind.
Well, I
That's
know
the
my
truth.
sister, she was 10 years older than me, and that's all I listened to was Elvis.
Yeah.
So she was like 16, 17, and I was, 6, 7 or whatever. I could sing all the songs, I knew all the words. And so to this day, I'm still really interested in all of it because I heard it all the time.
If you're an Elvis
That's
fan,
fun.
there's no explanation necessary. If you're not an Elvis fan, there's no explanation possible.
Right. That's
Well-
right.
Well put.
That's exactly right.
Very well put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did something for everybody.
Right.
They did.
So what are the chances of us being able to talk you into doing a little snippet of something,
Yeah.
each of you?
I told you, let's bring the guitar.
I forgot about that. He did say that.
Oh, darn.
Then what can we do? Like separately or?
Do you want it?
Yeah,
We
do
have
something
enough time.
separately.
Yeah.
Just a little snippet of something.
Yeah.
Which one of us
Gary,
goes first?
you go first.
Yeah, wait, wait.
You already sang something earlier.
This is too simple for me.
You just interviewed Gary. Did you sing anything during your interview?
No,
No.
no, but they
Then
played
afterwards.
Did it
my video.
after, and I said, "Why did you do it now? Do it during the show."
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in Far Bombay. Come on, fly with me, let's fly away.
Yay!
You sound good for this early in the morning. Yeah. And of course, I'm going to go, Sweet Caroline.
Bum bum bum.
Good time never seems so good.
So good, so good, so good.
Well, I've been inclined
Bum bum bum.
to believe they never would. Oh, no, no. Okay, that's my part.
Yay!
Great.
All right, now what do you want me to do?
Okay.
This one. I know
You,
guys
you
know.
only have like 10,000 songs to choose from.
Exactly. That's the problem. Are you lonesome tonight?
Perfect.
Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your memory stray to a bright summer day when I kissed you and called you sweetheart? That's enough.
Nice.
Yay! That was beautiful.
We should let you girls. You have seen the show, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so then aside from our solo spots, because we all
Right.
we do all do
We'll
solo
come
spots,
together.
but we do duets, and then at the very end there's the trio. You know, we don't want to give too much away, but
Yeah.
to those who haven't
It's
You
seen
do
it.
have to go and see it. It's an amazing
Yeah,
show. And I
it's
just want to
great.
say, after that whole thing, we could just end our
Yeah.
show and just be done.
That wouldn't be fair to our other
That's
guests.
true.
Because the show does show, it is scripted and there's dialogue, as you know, but it shows that there are connections between all three gentlemen. You know, some may be a little bit loose, you know, more so with Elvis and Neil, but Elvis sang with Frank for real in real life, and he sang with Neil in real life. But people actually learn things, you know,
right.
about the three of them.
Oh, yeah.
having those connections.
I can honestly say, and it's not because you three are in the room, but when we went and saw the show, well, I'd heard Gary before, but when we went and saw the show, all three of you nail the people perfectly.
Oh, no
Oh,
kidding.
thank you.
I mean, it's amazing how all of you sound. And I've seen a lot of Elvis impersonators, but I haven't seen any that sound like you. I mean, you are like really spot on with Elvis.
Well,
I closed my
thank you
eyes
very
and
much.
did the test.
And
I
I'm real picky with that character because I saw the real one in this town
That's right.
18 times.
Oh,
So
wow.
18 in Vegas and 5 in New York. So I'm probably more critical over his character than I am over my own. You know why? So I wanted the best and I got the best.
That's
Both of them.
right, you
Yeah,
did.
Yeah,
thank
you did,
You know,
for sure.
yeah.
So how many times did you see Neil?
I just saw him for my 17th time, and it looks like it's gonna be the last. Yeah. And I wasn't even gonna go to that because I was kind of rebelling because he bypassed Vegas. You know, it was his 50th, even though it was really 51 last year, but he was calling it the 50th anniversary, and so he picked 50 cities, and Vegas was not one of them. And
Wow.
yeah, it's the first time he's done a
amazing.
tour in a long time with just skipping Vegas. So I was going, well, I'm not, you know, I'm not coming to my town. I'm not going, you know. But then it was a friend of mine's birthday in L.A. and she had never seen Neil before, and I knew he was at the L.A. Forum, so I said, all right, I'm going to take you for your birthday, and I went to L.A. And coincidentally, and I'm so grateful, I'm glad I did this because as it stands right now, that concert I saw turned out, at least to this point, the last concert he did in this country. Now, he did go to Europe afterwards.
Seeing guys with us in the studio
but
who are the stars of American Trilogy.
It's on your
We
phone.
have Rob Garrett. What
Oh,
happened?
your
Okay.
video stopped.
Oh,
The minute we played.
all right.
Whoopsie.
And Justin.
That's part of showbiz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
that's
live.
what you have in a live
It's
show.
live.
No million.
I thought we had another interview
Let me help you
here.
with this.
So thank you
Oh,
all
it's still-
for coming.
it's still going.
It's very special
Hit this
having
button.
you here.
I love it. I'm not the only one that doesn't know how to do things.
Yeah, we needed to keep Justin around more.
Yeah.
All right, well, we are out of time, but I just want to thank all of you, Gary and
Thank you.
Justin and Rob, for coming in today. We appreciate it so much. And please go and see them at American Trilogy at the South Point. It is an amazing show.
See you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.